Have you ever told a little white lie? You know, something small like saying you're almost there when you haven't even left the house. Or maybe you've complimented a friend's questionable new haircut just to be nice. We've all been there. It seems harmless, right? But have you ever stopped to think about why lying, in any form, is something that the Bible takes so incredibly seriously? Why does God hate lying? It's not just about a simple rule. It goes much, much deeper, to the very core of who God is and how He designed us to live. Let's start with the big question. Why is lying a sin in the first place? Well, it's fundamentally against God's nature. The Bible is crystal clear on this. Titus 1-2 says God cannot lie. Hebrews 6:18 reinforces this, speaking of two unchangeable things in which it is impossible for God to lie. God is truth. Jesus Himself said in John 14-6, I am the way, the truth, and the life. So, when we lie, we're not just breaking a rule. We're actively acting in opposition to God's very character. We're choosing to operate in a realm of darkness and deception, which is the complete opposite of His light and truth. In fact, the Bible names a specific character as the father of lies, Satan. So every time we choose deception, we're sadly aligning ourselves more with the enemy's nature than with our Father's. It's a big deal because it's a matter of identity and allegiance. Now, let's talk about the damage. The reason God hates lying isn't just because it offends Him. It's because He loves us, and He knows the devastating harm it causes. Think about it in your own life. What's the fastest way to destroy trust in a relationship? It's a lie. Whether it's a friendship, a marriage, or a family bond, deception acts like a corrosive acid. It eats away at the foundation of trust until there's nothing left to stand on. A single lie can make someone question everything you've ever said. It creates suspicion, insecurity, and distance. It forces people to build walls to protect themselves. This is exactly what lying does on a larger scale, too. It fractures communities. It undermines justice, and it creates a world of chaos and confusion. God designed us for authentic, loving community, and lying is the ultimate saboteur of that plan. It isolates us from each other, and ultimately, from God Himself, because we start hiding parts of ourselves in shame. And this brings us to a sobering but crucial point. God will judge. This isn't meant to be a scare tactic, but a loving warning. God's holiness and justice require an accounting. Revelation 21-8 gives a stark list of those who will not enter the kingdom of heaven, and it explicitly includes all liars. Their place, it says, will be in the fiery lake of burning sulfur. Proverbs 19-9 is just as direct. A false witness will not go unpunished, and whoever pours out lies will perish. Why such a harsh judgment? Because a world built on lies is a world collapsing into itself. God, in His perfect justice, must deal with the sin that destroys His beloved creation. He's not just an angry judge. He is a restorer. And to restore things to their rightful, truthful state, the lies must be dealt with. But here's the beautiful, incredible, life-changing part of the story. The judgment is real, but so is the grace. While God hates the sin of lying, He passionately loves the liar. He loves you and me. He made a way for us to be cleansed from our untruths. That way is Jesus. The one who is the truth took the judgment for our lies upon Himself on the cross. When we confess our sins, including our habit of lying, and we turn to Him, He forgives us completely. He doesn't just pardon us. He begins a process of transforming us, of changing our hearts, so that we begin to love the truth just like He does. So, the next time you're tempted to tell that little white lie, remember what's at stake. It's not just about a rule. It's about reflecting the character of the God of truth, protecting the relationships He's blessed you with, and walking in the freedom and light that only comes from honesty. It's a choice between a life of deception that leads to destruction, and a life of truth that leads to true freedom and connection with God and others. The choice is always ours.